guys, welcome back to another video with Dia, London Dia from Instagram. So this video is going to be about some tips that you should know before you go to Cuba, because when I went to Cuba, I literally didn't know anything about Cuba. Like, it's so dumb because my friend was doing all the planning and stuff. Guys, I went to Cuba with my friend last year around April. We stayed for like 10 or 12 days. We flew from Miami to Cuba. So the first thing I would say is take cash. Like, definitely take your card and take some cash. I know it's really like stupid thing. It's such a stupid little tip to say, but we were struggling to take cash out from the cash point, so it's always best to take cash. I know it's like such a simple tip, but like even me, I was like broke at one point and I needed more cash. So it's always best to take some cash. Also take your card and make sure your bank knows that you are going to Cuba. Me and my friend, we were trying like to get cash out from so many cash points and the money didn't come out. So just keep that in mind, guys. So I recommend always take cash with you, you know. Oh my god, and please don't lose your passport. Keep your passport in your apartment or your hotel. That's another story. The next tip I would say is learn Spanish. Even just a little bit is good. For me, I just didn't know any Spanish at all, and I was just like so left out when my friend was speaking to like Cubans. Yeah. This is so funny. When I actually think about it, it just makes me really happy, because at the time I hated Cuba. When I was there, I just hated it because there was like, it was just so different, and it was just so hard to get used to. And then eventually when I got used to it, I actually really liked it. So learn Spanish, guys. I had a translator on my phone. I only know how to say hola, ¿cómo estás? That's the only words that I knew. So yeah, and then I know mi armo. So yeah, guys, that is pretty useless. So yeah, learn some Spanish because it's really good to talk to people when you're a little bit bored. They don't really know that much English. So my friend was actually like doing all the talking and speaking in Spanish, and I was just listening and trying to understand. So yeah, I think it's good to learn a little bit of Spanish before going to Cuba. Just like, hi, how are you? Would you like to dance? Would you like to have a drink? Or something like that, you know. And also, oh my god, another thing is you should really travel light as possible, because I took so much stuff that it was just so heavy to bring back to England. So I was like, I'm just gonna give all of my clothes away to the girls, one of the girls that we met in Cuba. So that was quite nice, but all my stuff was from Primark anyway, so it wasn't like designer stuff or something. I'm actually looking at my notes because I will forget. So yeah, travel light as possible, because you don't want to be carrying like too many suitcases and all the stuff. It's just too much, you know. Just travel light, so you're not going to be too tired, and it's just going to be an easy journey for you. At the end, I actually ended up giving all my stuff away, so my suitcase was really light. And when I went back to England, I just picked up some Cuban rum, which was quite cheap from the airport. So in Cuba, the food is not great. I must say, it was terrible. It was just so awful. I know they don't have food, but guys, like, I actually hated it because they just didn't even have salt. I don't know, I just didn't really like the food in Cuba. And then actually we found one restaurant which was quite expensive, but it was rated top, like 5 or 4 stars in TripAdvisor. So I suggest looking at TripAdvisor if you want to have like good restaurants. I'm sure you already know this, but just a quick reminder. So when we went to a restaurant, it had this TripAdvisor label, and it said how many stars the restaurant had. So we went to this place, I can't really remember, but it was like, the food was amazing, and we went there like almost every night. Yeah, so check out TripAdvisor for good places to eat, guys. And also during the evening, I think you should like take some salsa lessons before you go to Cuba, because they just absolutely love salsa. Like they actually love salsa, and I'm so shit at salsa. Like I just forget my steps, and I just do my whatever moves I have. And also we went to this club, and I actually really liked the club because it had really good music. It was called Astral or Astro, I don't know. The taxi guy took us there, but I actually really liked that club. It was like so cool. The music was just amazing, and I was just dancing on the dance floor. And also another thing is, make sure you don't get ripped off, because one time we went to like a bar, and then this guy was like, oh, 4 drinks is like £40 or something, and we were so dumb, and we actually paid, and then it wasn't even £40, it turned out to be like 20 quid. So he just totally ripped us off. So if someone is trying to rip you off, just bear that in mind when you get on these little taxis or whatever. They always try to like increase the prices, thinking we are dumb, but we are not dumb, are we? So just bargain, guys. Just say like, oh, 10 cook, because that is the currency in Cuba. Oh my god, take your camera, because me, you know, I love pictures, taking selfies and stuff. It's always a good idea to take your camera, because you never know what you're gonna see. You might see some condoms on the floor. That's what I saw. So yeah, Cuban people are really friendly. They're so happy with a little bit they have. So I really like the atmosphere. I really like the feeling. And also the biggest thing that you should know is there is literally no internet unless you go to this special park. So bear that in mind, guys, because I was so annoyed because I didn't know they didn't have internet, and we had to keep going to this special park for internet. So that would be the biggest shock for me when I went to Cuba, because I actually didn't know that. Also, don't forget to take an adapter, because we were in Cuba looking for a phone adapter. So make sure you take an adapter, because that it is so annoying just going around looking for adapter when you should have just brought it from wherever you're coming from, right? It is quite hard to find things in Cuba. So I suggest bringing an adapter to charge your phone and stuff. So I hope you guys like my little tips before you go to Cuba, and I hope you guys have a blast. And don't forget to drink and dance and live your best life, guys. And please don't forget to check out my Instagram, which is called Travel with Dia, for my traveling pictures around the world.